Hi, my name is Donny Lowy, the CEO of Closeout a New York wholesale business. Today I'd like to discuss with you the topic of wholesale women's suits. Wholesale women's suits are a very popular item. They're especially in demand currently in Africa and in the Caribbean. As the corporate sector expands, as the banking sector expands in African countries such as Nigeria, Botswana, Kenya, and Caribbean countries such as Trinidad or Jamaica, so there's more of a demand for women's suits. Now, women's suits have a very high perceived value because they are suits, and although sometimes the actual clothing isn't that much different than the clothing that such as dresses or such as blouses or shorts, but the perceived value is higher because people have come to accept that suits are more expensive. It is for that reason that on the retail level, suits can be sold for substantial profit. Now, when you're selling wholesale women's suits, you need to keep in mind the following. There's a very strong preference for brand names such as Tahari, Jones New York, Casper, Nine West, Calvin Klein, Anne Klein, and some of the other well-known brands. Customers, especially in Africa and the Caribbean, love those brands. They've been exposed to those brands either through traveling to the United States or through relatives who have come to the United States or even by researching clothing online. Their employers expect them to dress in suits, and as women want to seek advancement in their respective professional field, they're going to want to dress in a manner that will give them that professional appearance. Now, when you sell women's suits, you have to understand your market. You have to know what sizes are in demand. For example, in Africa, in a country such as Nigeria, they might want sizes from 12 to 18, while in some of the other African countries, they might want smaller sizes or larger sizes. And you also want to know the type of style and the colors that are in demand. For example, in Africa, when people buy the women's suits for the banking sector, so they want very dark and conservative colors. On the other hand, if a customer in the Caribbean is buying a suit so they can go to church with it, they're going to want a lighter color. And even for their work environment, they prefer lighter colors. And of course, you need to know where it is that they're working, because if it's an American bank, for example, that's open in the Bahamas, they might require their employees to wear darker colored suits so they have a more conservative appearance. While another bank located a few miles away, but perhaps owned by a company in the Bahamas, they might allow their employees or might want their employees to wear more lighter colored suits. Now, when you want to buy wholesale women's suits, you have a few options. The first option is you can contact the designers themselves, such as Nine West, such as Tahari, such as Jones New York, set up an account with them and purchase suits. The advantage of that is that you'll have the most up-to-date styles. The disadvantage is that you'll be paying the highest possible wholesale price because you're buying directly from the brand and you're receiving the latest styles. Your second option is you can buy suits from wholesalers, you can buy them from closeout dealers, and that option is the option that I recommend. Now, when you use that option, within that option, there are other options. You can buy suits that are store returns, meaning suits that have been returned to the department store. They could have small damages or defects. You could buy those at a lower price, but the challenge with those suits is you will have to fix them. But remember, if you can fix them at a low enough price, it might be worthwhile for you. The other option is to buy department store overstock suits. My warehouse, which is located in New York, and my website, closeoutexplosion.com, sells overstock suits. And basically, those are suits that were not sold by the department store. Either they had too many of them, or they simply ran a sale and now have new merchandise coming in and they want to get rid of the remaining stock. So I will go ahead and buy those suits from them. Now, let's start with the disadvantage. The disadvantage of buying department store overstock suits is that they're not the latest and up-to-date current model. Because they're overstocked, they're usually from a previous season. They could be anywhere from 2 to 3 months old up to a year old. So you're not going to be getting the latest style. But while that might sound like a disadvantage, it's really not a major issue, because when you sell to customers in countries that don't have access to the latest styles, then they're okay wearing those suits. And now one thing I should have started out by saying is that there really is not such a big differentiation of styles in the women's suits that I've come across. A lot of times you can differentiate one season style from the next season. So for that reason, even if you buy a women's suit by Tahari, which was put out on the market 3 months ago, it might look very similar to the one that is being put out for this season. And even if there is a small difference, it might not be enough of a difference to discourage someone to buy it. Now, the very big advantage of buying department store overstock suits is that you're buying them literally for sometimes as low as 5 to 10% of the original retail value. For example, I sell suits from 9 West, Jones, New York, to Tahari that can retail for $2 to $3, even up to $400, and I sell them as low as $25 each in volume. So as you can see, the profit potential is tremendous. So to summarize, there's a lot of money to be made in selling suits for women, provided that you know the style and the traits and the brands and the colors that your customers are looking for, and provided that you're able to buy them at a low enough price where you can make a good amount of money. If you have any questions, you can please contact me. You'll find the link to my website in the video description, which is right below. Thank you so much. Please welcome my warehouse and have a great day.